This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English Full Volume, where I am here with
Dan the man.
Oh yeah baby, and we are just having a chat today, Dan. Nothing really planned to talk about.
Alarm bells are ringing.
Nice term there. Alarm bells are ringing means like I'm worried basically. I thought we could just talk about how this members area is going, Dan.
Oh God, it's a fucking nightmare.
Dan's enthusiastic. Obviously, though, we're recording this on Thursday, so you will be listening to this on Tuesday, so things may change in that. But I thought it would be useful for all of the listeners to understand sort of what we're doing, and as Dan said, how much of a nightmare we're having. So what have you been up to recently, Dan? What have you been up to? What have you been doing recently?
Well, apart from destroying the website by trying to...
Yes, got a email from a listener or a message saying the website isn't working. I thought, what the fuck is Dan doing? Dan is like doing the technical side of things. Okay, obviously, you know, I take care of the teaching English. Dan's like, you know, don't worry, I've got the technical stuff. And another thing, the other day, he said to me, I can't put this video in the middle of the screen.
Hang on.
This is the technical man that's helping me with my business. He can't put a video in the middle of the screen.
Hang on. We can do that, but you insisted that it couldn't be a YouTube video.
Of course. Who the fuck wants a YouTube video on your website? Go to YouTube
anyway,
and watch the YouTube video.
This is a common problem I found out.
Dan,
so
sure. Anyway, so what have you been doing anyway? Just so people know that Dan actually does something. I obviously take the piss out of him, which means I make fun of him, saying he's a freelance human being. But he does do stuff. So tell us, Dan.
Well, I'm trying to set up the membership area on the website where people can sign up and then listen to the podcast, but it's fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody annoying. Hey, Dan. The Facebook Live, though, that was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, apart from the lessons I have to learn from that you told me about the next day, have you watched the video? Just watch it. It'll be good for your pointers. Look at you. You're not looking at the screen. You're too high.
Yes, I think that's useful, Dan. As I said in yesterday's podcast, constructive criticism. I also got a message I didn't even tell you about from a listener saying, Martin, you keep touching your face during the the Facebook Live. I don't know. I just like to touch myself, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that sounded bad, but I didn't intend it like that.
Well, at least you're touching your face.
Yeah, at least I'm touching my face during the video and no other parts of my body. But I had a blast, Dan. What does it mean if I had a blast?
It means you had a great time.
Yes, we've got a real community now, haven't we? Everyone involved.
Yeah.
We've also got, Dimitri that's been doing these amazing drawings of us.
Yeah, they are really good.
Amazing. If anyone else wants to get involved and somehow help us, maybe by putting a video in the middle of the screen, feel free.
I actually did contact one of the Rock and Roll Full Volume members the other day.
To put the video into the middle of the screen.
Yeah, his answer was, he told me what to do. He said it was pretty easy, but I'm sure it's more difficult. But
Sure.
I mean, he is the professional, so...
Sure. Anyway, what's been your favourite moment so far, Dan, of the members area?
I just like having a secret group that no one else can see into. I feel like I can be myself.
It's like you've got actual friends now, isn't it, Dan? I think that's what's so good for you.
I tell you what, my friends list has probably tripled.
It's gone from 10 to 30.
Yeah. What about you?
I'd say the Facebook Live. I really enjoyed it, sort of speaking to everyone, you know, taking the piss out of you at the same time. It was fantastic.
Yeah. And besides, what have you been up to? It seems like I'm doing all the work for this.
Oh, yeah, as if. I'm planning the shows, what to speak about. I'm editing the podcasts. I'm planning the stuff for the live. I'm also juggling all this with a full-time job. So when I say juggling, I'm not actually juggling like a juggler. It means I'm doing two things at once. Haven't been sleeping, Dan. Haven't been sleeping.
Well, that's your problem. I've been sleeping like a baby.
Good for you. Sorry, I nearly forgot there. Another thing to tell all of the listeners is that we're not doing I'm not doing the outros anymore. One, because, I'm quite boring on my own, at least when I speak to Dan. Two boring people together, two negatives makes a positive. Hey, Dan?
I don't know. Yeah.
Simple mathematics, Dan, yes. To listen to me, it makes the podcast a bit longer as well, longer to edit as well. And you have the transcripts and the quiz. And if you have any questions in the vocab, that's what's the group for. Hey, Dan?
Correct.
Send it to us, baby. So I will spare you that horrific experience of listening to me. So when I say I will spare you, I mean I will not make you go through it. Anyway, we've been talking quite a long time, Dan. It's probably time to go and record the next one.
Yeah, sounds good. I can't actually believe we got through that chat without anything really to talk about.
We did it, Dan. We did it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dan, I'm going to let you finish the podcast today because we're not doing the outro. How do I normally finish the show?
Keep on rocking.
Boom shakalaka.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.